So, right, our topic today is going to be about air coolers, AIOs, and custom water cooling. And people always ask me questions like, oh, why didn't you use a CPU air cooler? Why didn't you use an AIO? Why didn't you use a 120? Why didn't you use a 280? And it's just like for different specified reasons why I don't. So if it goes down to like a very cheap case, you're not going to really use a 360 millimeter water cooling unit because technically it's a little bit overkill. So time and time again, it's like, but you got a really decent expensive CPU in there, but it depends on like what I'm doing with it. So with people that do video editing, they don't really care as much as the aesthetics. When it comes to gaming, people care a lot about aesthetics. So with video editing, it's about like just getting the job done. They need fast storage, fast RAM, fast CPU, and a decent motherboard that can connect those USBs up for SD drives. And CF drives and whatever drives they've got out there for like really optimized speed to get like a bit of data to like their desktop computer, and it just runs and renders and exports really well on their computer. So when it comes to RGBs and that, some people will be like, yeah, I like RGBs, I like the aesthetics, I like the computers look really nice on my desk. But when it comes to the gaming world, we can see there's rainbows, unicorns, all kinds of stuff coming out the computer, and it's all about having heavy, well, computers could be like for gaming world, could be very like just cheap for nothing, and then all the way to like really expensive. But they always like to have like an added bit of aesthetics, RGB and everything like that. But the gaming world is moving over a little bit, and they're kind of understanding that if they want to have like decent frame rates per second, their computer needs to be running efficiently. That means keeping it nice and cool. So then if they overclock it, they can have the frame rates that jump up a little bit more, and they've got to be consistent. So not like frame rates that jump up on like benchmarking software. It just needs to be something that is consistent in the real world. So say like I'm playing I don't know, Tomb Raider or something like that. No, let's say Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, CSGO. And CSGO, you can go over like 300 frame rates per second, and the more frame rates per second you've got, the more chance of you being able to shoot that person as the frames are moving in slow motion. You can imagine that the enemy is moving across the screen. You take that shot, and it's kind of that you've missed it because you haven't got the decent monitor and you haven't got a decent like graphics card that's producing those frame rates per second. So if you go with like a very like normal screen that's like 60 hertz, and then you pair it up with a graphics card that's absolutely beast mode, you're still going to only get 60 hertz. So it's going to be irrelevant having that really powerful hungry graphics card for a monitor only does 60 hertz. Now if you've got a hungry graphics card that can easily produce 300 frame rates per second, you are going to need a screen that's going to have like at least 144 frame rates or 444 hertz, and then 240 hertz, which is more of a faster frame rates per second buffer. But what it is that you still need to have the storage as well to make it go as fast as what it does with the frame. So basically you need all the components to be blended in together. I should really make a video on the components that are equal values to each other. So say that I've got a really crappy CPU that I spent £30 on, but I've got like an NVMe that I spent £400 on, and a graphics card that I spent a lot of money on, and everything is just really fast in that area, then it's not going to work right. It's just the opposite as well. If you can have a really fast bit of CPU, the memory is really low end, storage is really fast, it's not going to be balanced enough. But anyway, as I was talking about, what was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about now. I've gone all in about stuff. I was talking about, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, AIOs and obviously water cooling, custom water cooling. So people ask the question, now what's the difference? Now CPU air coolers have got much larger than what they used to be, but they also got better copper, and they have got aluminium and stuff like that as well, or aluminum in America. But basically it's what can produce or dissipate more heat from a CPU block. So if you've got like a water block, you can get a cheap water block, and then you can say you've got custom water cooling when you put it all together, but it might not be balanced enough. You know, like you can have the system clog up because you're using aluminium and the wrong sort of coolant that's going around in the tubes. Oh my God, it's going to be a complex video. I think I'm just going to make it simple. Right, AIO is good for every day. The price is nice and budget orientated. You can start off from a crappy AIO cooler from 120 away to 360, and you've got like different types of metals and different type of tubing, different type of cooling in the more expensive ones than what you do with the cheaper ones. And then you've got the ones that are in the middle. It means you have to shop around and do a bit of research and find out if that's going to be good for your system. Plus, you've got to make sure that your case can fit a 360 in there. It's just as well as fitting a big CPU air cooler in there that can cool down CPU. But then, if you are working in the industry of music, video editing, and all that sort of stuff, you want the computer to be really cool, but you want it to be kind of not loud. And if it's loud, then it's no good, because then it disrupts your workflow. But if you're gaming, it doesn't really matter. You can have all systems go, headphones on, and everything like that. Even though you can do video editing with headphones on, you're kind of listening for background noise, and you're trying to listen to make sure the video is blended together when you're connecting all together. So it's very complex industry that. So if I was using custom water cooling, I'll be doing all the research, making sure I've got the right metals for the compression fittings, the tubing, the water block, and I'm going to work out whether I'm going to water cool the graphics card, whether there's even a water cooling graphics card block for that graphics card that I've picked. And then I'll be working out whether I'm going to cool the MOSFETs, the chipset. Depends on what motherboard and what age we're talking about. To be honest with you, Ryzen's got a new fan that goes around on the chipset, but I don't know. And then obviously NVMe cooling water blocks. Is it going to be sufficient to do that? Even water cooling the memory. And then you've got like AIOs, so you go 360, 280, 120, and 140 like versions. And then you've got custom water cooling AIOs, which you can kind of undo and then put a graphics card to it. And then you've got the CPU air coolers, which are really cheap, and then you've got ones that are really expensive, and then they've got different sizes. But all I can say is the CPU air coolers are caught up with the AIOs and custom water cooling. Custom water cooling, remember the pumps? If the pumps go, then you kind of got to drain the whole loop and everything like that. Plus you've got to have a loop drained facility on or tap in your case. If you don't, then it's going to be all of a mission, the way that you do things and your sort of plan of action. Oh yeah, this video could go on for ages. I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to have I'm going to do the videos slightly a little bit different, so it's a little bit more straight to the point, because it gets a bit complex and I go off topic. But anyway, do you like these sort of videos? Comment down below, subscribe, share, follow me on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook constantly, and if you want to ask me questions on Facebook, you can do. If you want to ask me questions on YouTube, that's the whole point, because I'm here as well. I'm everywhere and I'm watching. So see you soon. Thanks for watching. Roger and out.